Uh-oh. I hear some feedback. You gotta mute something.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
But it's a echo.
I just muted my
laptop, right? It was the laptop, I think, that was giving us that feedback, because I don't hear it anymore, but you can hear me good, right?
Hold on. I think I just got the Zoom meeting by accident.
You did.
I did. That was an accident.
It's all right.
Going back in. That was my fault.
Can go back in?
Yeah. Can you put me back in the Zoom meeting?
Sure. Just I guess if you request to go on there, I can just let you in. Oh, there you go. Okay.
All right.
Perfect.
Hold on. Let me change my camera so you can see more on the IG.
Okay. We good to go. Okay. Minus the feedback.
All right. So now my IG is down. The Zoom has the audio. You don't hear echo no more, right?
No, I don't hear any echo.
Okay, cool.
No, that's not true. I hear echo very loud. So you should turn the volume off on your laptop. Keep the volume up on your IG.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, is that better?
Much better. That's perfect.
Okay, so I switched it. So which one do you want me to look at?
It's so hard. Both.
Okay, both.
It's both cool. Possible. Just take turns.
All right, sounds good. Let me just clean my screen. All right.
Okay. What's up, world? It's your girl, Joy Daily. Thanks to everyone for tuning in. You're watching the Joy Daily Show. I'm back better than ever. I have a very special, very extremely talented guest that I am talking to today. And I just can't wait to introduce you all to him. He is a visual artist that does a lot of work with a lot of very notable celebrities, and he goes by the name of Ozzy Oz, the Vyrys. So you guys need to check out his IG. He has like amazing work, like really amazing work. And I'm very excited to talk to him today. So Ozzy Oz, man, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. And I appreciate you having me.
Yeah, you gotta first just introduce yourself to everyone, those who don't know who you are, what you do. Let us know a little bit about yourself as an artist.
Okay, well, like I said, my name's Ozzy Vyrys. So pretty much that just comes to me just trying to just spread my artwork out everywhere. So I'm just on a mission to make sure I could, go as far as I can with it. I've been drawing since I was like a child, and I transitioned into digital art around middle school, 2007, and I haven't looked back since. So from then on, it's just been posting on Instagram, going to cons and shows, getting my artwork out to certain celebrities, and putting on whatever I could think of.
So how would you describe your work? I mean, I know you said it's digital, but would you say that you're more in the anime genre?
I got pushed into that because when I was uploading to Instagram, it was getting the most likes. So I was just doing what was getting the most attention. And anime, which I do actually personally enjoy and love to draw, I've been drawing it as a kid. It just so happened to be the thing that, I just kind of stuck with because I was getting the most attention. So, but it's like, it's great because either way, I still enjoy it. Whether it was getting attention or not, I still enjoy just drawing anime.
Okay, so Ozzy Oz, I'm gonna ask you to flip your camera on the Zoom, because right now you have no camera on you. Just realizing that.
Oh. No, I just didn't start my video.
There we go. Perfect.
Okay, that's good.
Now you already told. So where did you grow up? Like, what are some of the things that influence your art?
I grew up in Long Island. Well, okay, I was born and raised in Queens. I grew up most of my like child years in like Long Island, and I was just always just a normal kid. I just watching Saturday cartoons late at night, and I just always just enjoyed playing video games with like my cousins, and just a normal childhood like that. And it's just that part of like my life just still stuck with me till now, and it influenced all the stuff I enjoy to draw today.
Now, I hear that you are also like giving back to the community and other arts or other artists like yourself. Tell us a little bit about that, like some of your efforts and what is your motivation behind like helping other artists?
It's because I used to be in that place too, where, before social media and having like a platform to like, make your own money and pretty much be your own like business. I used to think that drawing couldn't really get any bigger than, at least what I'm doing now. I used to think like the biggest you can get to is like being one of those people in like the city drawing people. As like a child, I thought that was the most you can get it to. And as a child, or when you're young and you're into something, it's like it's very important to meet people or talk to people or see people doing what you like to do, but at a bigger scale, because it kind of opens up your mind like, okay, I can really take this far. I can live off this. I can pay my bills, take care of a family, and do everything off of what I love to do. So I really try my best to show people like, you can do this, whether you're young, older, same age, as long as you just put the time and effort into it, you can do it.
I'm sure you've heard the term starving artist.
Yes.
So a
I
lot of
actually heard
people
it from my
believe.
dad. Yeah, my
Go
dad used to
ahead.
tell me that all the time. Like,
Mhm.
well, he tells me now, like, you figured out how to not be a starving artist. And I never understood what that meant. But you get older, you meet a lot of artists, you read a lot of stories, and it's real. It's a real thing. Like, art is a real hard lane to eat off of, because when you're an artist, you're just focused on making your art, and the business part of it is a completely separate thing, and not everybody can balance both, properly.
And I also feel like that's something that they should teach artists. Like they have all these schools that they teach art, but do they teach you how to sell your art? Do they teach you how to make money from it?
That's the game. It's very unfortunate that not everybody can learn. It's not easy to learn. That's why I try to be like the type of artist where I can show you this is what I do, this is what I've accomplished, because they're not going to teach you that. You just either got to have it in you, or you got to like network with the right people and be open-minded to learn, because it's hard. Because when you're just an artist, I get it, you just want to do your art, you don't really think about everything else. You kind of use it as like a gateway to zone out and just focus on your craft. But at the same time, if you want to eat, survive, and take care of yourself off of this, you got to learn the other side that your brain may not be like accustomed to, because you're so busy being an artist.
So you were self-taught, like you had to figure that out for yourself, or did somebody like school you as to how you could make money from your art?
The business part, I've always kind of had a little bit of both. I've always kind of been like a little like entrepreneur. Like my father used to make free copies of like my drawings. I'll tell him make me like 2 or 3, 4, 5 copies of like my artwork when I was like a kid, and I'll go to school like this big binder and just sell all my artwork out of there for like $1, $2. Yeah, I've always
That's
kind of had
amazing.
that little
You always knew
entrepreneur
you was gonna make
mindset.
money off of this.
Yeah, like it was to the point where like, you got to pay for school lunch. Like my parents wouldn't have to worry about me for some months, because I'd always make like a good 30 to 40, $50 off of little $1 prints, just selling it to kids in my school of our favorite cartoons and drawings. So I've been doing what I'm doing for a long time, just at a bigger
That's
scale.
really amazing. And to me, it's very fascinating. And you have to tell us, what is the most you've ever sold a piece of artwork for?
Surprisingly, not much, because they're all digital prints. I can reprint them. But what I can say is that I've made a lot off of one image, but not that one image particularly.
That's the key. It's not about selling one piece for a bunch of money. It's about selling a bunch of one piece.
Yes. So if we're going to be honest, from what I can think off the top, I think the most I've sold like maybe one piece of art was maybe $1,000, maybe $2,000, and like in my recent collection, maybe $400 or $500. But the overall
You
gross
mean
of
for the
that one
one
image,
piece of art? Wait, the one piece of art costs that much, or that's selling multiple copies of the one piece of
no,
art?
selling it like that one time, like at a big,
Wow.
picture or scale, or just selling it. But the real key is how many times I've been able to sell that image, putting it on a shirt, a hat, a mug, rolling trays, shoes. I wear my warehouse right now. You can't see the whole scope of everything, but that's where the math kind of comes in, and you can multiply it.
Mm.
So the
Now tell
image
us.
itself makes a lot, but that one time I sell it, not much.
Okay. Now tell us a bit about some of the notable celebrities that you have sold your artwork to.
Yeah. So in my recent collection, that's relatively new compared to the collection I've had the longest, which is Vyrys Graphics. LSD is the new one. I was able to get in connections and getting like my favorite one, the Miami Speed Race picture to Chris Brown. He has it hanging up somewhere in his house. I don't know where. I just seen a picture of it somewhere. I do know Trippie Redd has one of my pictures, and you know he's into like the whole anime and artwork and stuff, and a lot of anime influencers. You know, there's a couple influencers, you know, who are big on like YouTube and stuff for talking about anime, who have some of like my art pieces too. So that's been good for like my recent collection.
Now, I knew you were going to say Chris Brown because Chris Brown has always been like known for being a lover of art. But
Yeah.
have you noticed in recent times that a lot more people, especially celebrities, have been getting more into collecting art?
Yeah. Yeah, because you know, art is one of them things like it may not be as I guess prevalent as music because everybody can sit there and listen and you know intake what you're you know like a sound faster than what they can see. But art is definitely you know coming up, especially with this new age with this NFT crypto thing that I'm slowly getting
That is
into.
what I want you to tell me a little bit about that because that is something
I don't know much, so
I
I
don't
can't
know
give.
nothing about it. So you probably know more than me. But I know that that is contributing to why, like you said, a lot of more people are becoming interested in purchasing, a lot more celebrities. What is it that you know about that, and have you gotten involved? Has your work been involved in that those type of sales yet?
I understand a little bit about crypto. I've been invested into that for a little bit. I don't pay attention to it as much as I should because I'm so busy on my art. But from what I do understand, it's basically like you know how like trading cards and like certain items will just have value over time and just hold a value, and you pretty much own that value when you physically have the card. It's pretty much putting your art on a digital version of that. So everybody's just collecting like these digital trading cards in a sense. So
So
when you're
when
like the owner of that art, when it's sold, you get the profit for that or something like that.
so once you sell it to a person, can they then resell it, or is it
Yeah,
just? Oh, okay.
pretty much. I don't know much to fully understand it. I only get it from a sense of a crypto aspect, but the whole NFT part is a little different. I'm still learning. But I am dropping a collection with some of like my unreleased pieces or like my best pieces as an NFT.
Mhm.
And then once
No.
I get that out, then I'll you know be a little bit more informed of how it works, and then you know hopefully we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, until I'm fully you know involved into that lane, I'm just doing you know my regular digital paintings, and I'm trying to work on like my own cartoon also. So
Oh, that's gonna be really good.
yeah,
Yeah, anime is like you said, it has like a cult following. So
yeah, it do, and I can understand why. Yeah.
yeah, definitely. Now, who have you done cover art for?
So yeah, I used to do cover. I no longer do cover, but I do have a little bit of a list. I don't even remember. It's been so long. I know I did cover art for like an artist like Gucci Man. I know it sounds so bad. I can't even remember. I have to go to like my I keep like a
You
little
gotta go
credits
look it
tab on
up.
my highlights
Mhm.
to remind myself. So yeah, so I've done cover art for Birdman. Um let's see, yeah, Gucci Man, some of DJ Khaled's artists, Birdman and Young Thug.
So did these
I've
people like
done.
reach out to you? I mean, how do you get yourself out there like that for other artists that want to be doing that type of work and working with those level of celebrities? What's the best way to get yourself out there? How did you get yourself in the eyes in front of these people for them to want to work with you?
I'll be honest, it's a headache, and I'll say that because for most times, most of them haven't directly spoke to me. It's usually like a manager or like an assistant or someone from the label, like in between. So a lot of these artists I have not directly said, "Hey, how do you want this to look?" And they told me. Some of them have, but some of like the higher tier ones I was naming, no, it's really just through like a management and stuff. And how I made those stuff work was I would just make like art. Just you know, this is before like the collection, like my clothing business. I would just make art of, said artist. And I would pretty much go on Instagram and just kind of stalk who the artist knows and then send it to that person. Sometimes it'll be like a trail of three. So it'll be like, I'll give an example, like Gucci Mane. It would be like Gucci Mane's manager and then like his manager's nephew. And I would, or like someone who knows
So
his
you had to do a bit of
friend.
research. You had to figure out who these people were connected to.
Yes,
Send
exactly.
your work to them, not send it to the celebrity, because the celebrity is getting thousands and thousands of messages probably on an hourly basis.
Forget
so
about it.
You had to research, find out who they were connected to, and then send those people your work repeatedly.
Yeah. And then you would have to it's like you got to work your way up. So like if you get the manager's nephew, but his nephew got a lot of followers, you got to get like the nephew's friend, tell the friend, hey, I can do this art. Can you send this to your manager to send to such and such? And some people were cool. Some people were like, yo, this is dope, bro. I'll send it and see what happens. Some left you on scene. Some were like, hell no, get out my inbox. So you deal with different personalities trying to, climb that ladder to get to who you want to get to. Some, want free stuff in return. Some are just going to do it off the strength. So it was a lot. I'll be honest. It was a lot to get it to these people. Like I really worked my way. It's not like I just messaged it to like the artist directly and they were like, yeah, cool. And it all just worked out in this magical way. No, it was always reaching out, networking.
How was it in terms of like getting paid for this work? Because I'm like, and was it really difficult? Did you have to deal with labels? Were the artists trying to pay you, not trying to pay you? Like, what was the deal with that? Because I know how it is.
Everybody's different.
Everybody's different.
So I can gladly say in some situations I did get paid and I was taken care of for my art, for my time. In some situations it was like, hey, do this for us, we can get you exposure. Now, the exposure thing, I know. It's such a weird thing because you got to know how much exposure you can get or need. You can't just do the exposure thing forever. Eventually, as an artist, like you said, as a starving artist, we have to get paid. So I was doing the exposure deals, for a while. And then it got to a point where I'm like, no, I got to start getting paid. Like, I need to get paid. I need to pay my bills. I need things to take care of. How long
did you do it? How long did you do it for exposure before you said, you know what, fuck this, I need some money?
I want to say about a good 2-3 years. I've been a self-employed graphic artist for 10 years now. I would say like the first 3 years was I would do the exposure thing. Like, okay, cool. You're such and such. As long as you post and tag me, some did, some didn't, then I'll do it. It was hard. It's
that
hard.
Is hard. That's so hard. And people need to realize that like no journey is like fast. It's slow, it's long, it's hard. It took you a long time to get to the level that you're at. So if you're coming up, don't expect for it to happen overnight.
No,
and find another way to make money until it happens, because
it will drive you crazy if I could sit there and compress 10 years into like, a conversation, because some people see what I'm doing today, and even though I don't even feel like I'm there, I'm still on the journey up. But they'll see like where you're at today and think, oh, it just happened overnight. No, I have receipts for 10 years worth of trying to network, trying to do this, trying to make this happen.
Not to mention, you got followers, okay? You got over 100,000 followers. That takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Right?
It takes a lot of work. I'm a little like on the fence about it because just the algorithm's just weird nowadays. So it's hard to reach all these 100,000. But yes, the number at face value is a good look. It's just nowadays, you got to do the hard work to make sure you reach all of them. You never reach the whole, the whole number, but that's a whole nother conversation. But
and I would like to speak a little bit about, you being a Black male in maybe an Asian dominated industry. I don't know who dominates the, visual artist anime world, but I know it's not Black men like yourself. Talk a little bit about having that experience, and, any motivational tips you might have for other Black men who want to get into this life that you're in.
Well, the great thing about anime is even though it's, not a predominantly Black thing, it's one of those things where it's very open. Like you see how like us as Black folks, we're just open to like let people get into like what we do. Like anybody, any race can be a rapper or this, or, we're just very open to like what we create or what we start. I feel like anime is the same way, and you can take it and do whatever. So what I'm trying to bring to the table that is not predominantly in the market is adding like my cultural graffiti, hip hop, urban spin to these traditional characters. So like I'll put like tattoos or jewelry or certain clothes on them that, your average person who is a fan or is a different race or whatever can sit there and look and it's like, yo, I like this. Like this character speaks to me because he looks like me, or this is something that I would like. It's like doing custom work for everybody, but that custom work that everybody can enjoy.
Now, have you made any, I mean, I scrolled through your page a little bit, but have you made any Black anime characters? Can we
So
expect that from you?
my original concept, that I hope to put out in the next 2 or 3 years, maybe 5, however long it takes, that's gonna have more predominantly Black. I'm gonna include all races, all different, things into it, but I'm gonna phone call me. Sorry. That's gonna pretty much have predominantly like more Black characters involved, because I feel like now that like I've mastered like my style and it has like that urban appeal to it, it's very easy to translate that to a Black character or different races rather than just Asian characters. You know what I mean?
Right. Right, because we would like to see some, representation in
Yeah.
that world as well, just because it's so much that we don't see of ourselves in those types of images. So I would definitely encourage you to do that
Yeah,
in the
no, I'm
future
working on it.
now.
I'm actually taking a break from doing like a lot of custom work just to work on it.
Oh, really?
So I'm going through this stage in like my career where I'm pretty much saying no to a lot of money to work on like my real, dream that I really want to do. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Now, is it possible for you to show us some pieces? I know you said you're in your warehouse right now. Know if you have
Okay.
anything that you can easily access that you can show us.
I believe on the Zoom call I can show you. I don't know if I can show much on the Instagram. If you're on Instagram, it's probably best to check out
Just go
Addiction
to your
48.
profile.
Yeah, but if we're gonna try to do this on the okay, it says you disable. Okay, you gotta enable screen sharing, I think.
Oh, okay, let me do that.
And I can just show, just a little bit of like what I'm working on in the background.
Oh, it's gonna make me share my screen.
Okay.
Or yeah. I don't know if that want to do that. Oh, see, I don't want to share my screen.
All right. So I'm trying to figure out a way to show it where, instead of just showing it like on like the on the on the live, I
On the
guess.
visual. Yeah. I mean, in the meantime, I definitely want to talk about your clothing because I didn't even realize that you also make clothing in addition to your visual artwork. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about that journey.
So the clothing, all right. So when I was uploading artwork to Instagram, like let's just call it 2014, 15, when I was just drawing, posting just for, likes and comments. People would say, hey, you should put this on a shirt. Hey, you should do this. But I didn't want to be bothered with the whole overhead shipping. And it's a whole nother world. It's a whole nother ball game trying to understand how, the business part works when it comes to clothing, not just art. So I didn't want to get involved with that. And then my wife, well, she's my girlfriend at the time, but my wife now, she was like, hey, you should definitely like put it on shirts. Like people would like this. You can sell it and see what happens. But I still wasn't too interested. But we and I wasn't too motivated to do it because my artwork has so much like colors into it. So it's very hard to find like a manufacturer that can, print all those colors in the design without it being too expensive. So I didn't know anything on what processes, what price points. I didn't know any of that. So my wife was like, hey, we should just find somebody. We went around to like, I think maybe 6 to 7 different shirt shops locally in Orlando, and everybody said no, but there was this one company, shout out to Sublimation Station in Orlando, who looked at my art and said, yeah, we can print this on this material, all the colors. And I was like, oh, really? cool. So then we sent them in some designs, they printed it, showed it back to us, and from then on, it's just from
Took off.
2017 up until now, it just took off. So now I just, have like a whole collection of like my art, like on shirts and
Oh wow!
hoodies
Well,
and
can
all
we
types of stuff.
take a look at some of those that you have, or one or two of those there? That would be
Yeah,
easy for us to see.
I have a couple. Let's see. So I got like this one, that I didn't release yet. I plan on it. So it's an all over print. So you got pretty much a print, on the sleeves, on the body, on the
On the
back.
back.
Yeah. And then I'll
That
have
looks
like,
really good.
I'll have like
And the
a hoodie
colors
version
are
where,
so vibrant.
yeah, it's the same thing, even inside the hoodie is colored and has artwork,
And so quality is very important to you. I can see that.
Yes, extremely.
Mm-hmm. And where can somebody who wants to purchase all of this stuff, your prints, your clothing, is there a central place that we could go to purchase your work?
Okay, so I have two collections. So if you're like a follower and you're on the stream, you've been seeing what I've been doing for a while, you probably know the difference. But to anyone who doesn't know the difference, I have like two collections is Vyrys Graphics and LSD. Vyrys Graphics is pretty much artwork of just one solo particular character that everybody may enjoy. I just focus all my art and style into this one character. And you can go on vyrysgraphics.com, VYRUS graphics.com. You can see your favorite characters there in my style, favorite, versions of them, different designs, different outlook on them. LSD now has mostly artwork, like the big canvases, the art that I'm trying to go for, like this high-end anime art feel. Like if I could just take anime, graffiti, pop art and make it, give you like this high-end vibe, that's what LSD is about. And that's more of like a mix-up, mashup of just different things. Like you'll have different characters and different elements in the artwork that just gives it like this vibrant, amazing feel that you just can't stop looking at, because every time you look at it, you'll see something new.
Mm-hmm. Well, I am very, very inspired and just impressed with everything that you're doing, everything that you've done at this point in your career. You already kind of gave us a couple of hints as to what you got coming up next. If there's anything else that you want to share with us about some of your upcoming work that we need to look out for, or anything else that you want everyone to know about.
Well, as of now, I'm kind of just simplifying like my whole life and just simplifying my career at this point so I can just work. But right now, if you want to see anything I'm working on, your best bet is checking out vyrysgraphics.com or following the Instagram at vyrysgraphics, VYRUS graphics. VYRUS graphics for the Instagram. LSD, if you just want some nice, high quality, high-end anime artwork, check out lsdcollections.com. You're going to see some pretty amazing stuff on there, especially art that can give you that like a nostalgic feeling from, like the 90s and early 2000s, and a little bit mixed of, new stuff, and like the anime culture. So you can check out those two. And if you're really interested in my original comic book that I'm working on, you can check out Addiction 48. Everything is listed on my page and on my link tree. And those are the only things I'm working on right now. I was doing a whole lot, but right now I simplified to just those three. Like all my focus is going into those three.
You're still doing a lot. You're still doing a lot.
It's still a lot, but see,
Yeah.
like on top of doing custom work, and then I'm still going to cons and events too. So that's still a lot, but that's like certain weekends out of like the month. So I got like a whole tour flyer too of where I'll be at. Mostly like on the East Coast. I'm trying to get to the West Coast soon, but I'm mostly on the East Coast for now, like Texas, Florida, New York, certain states like that, just, going to shows and setting up. So if it's not cons, it's, LSD, Vyrys Graphics. If it's not those two, it's Addiction 48. So that's really what I'm focused on right now.
And just follow you on Instagram. I mean, your Instagram tells you everything you need to know.
Pretty much, yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time out of your busy schedule to talk to us today. And just to close out, if you could just give some advice to other artists who, want to get to your level.
Just always be consistent. That's it. Just be consistent. If you make a piece that you love and you enjoy and you put your all into it, just try to replicate that for every piece after, because just a little short backstory. I used to, put out art and be like, looking back, I don't really like this one. But once I like mastered like my style and learned how to keep it consistent, I literally love every single piece I put out in the last 3 years. Like there's not one I can look at and say, that's not my best. You could pull anyone, and I'm still gonna feel like, yeah, that's a great representation to see my style and my art. But years ago, it was like, oh no, I don't like that one. Let me show you my best one. No, they're all my best. So just be consistent.
It's hard to get to that point because I do know some people who are such perfectionists
that
they never put anything out. Nothing is good enough.
I used to be that way.
How do you overcome that?
You got to be a perfectionist and figure out how to make sure that they're perfect in every piece. It's hard. It's really hard because now, like I said, you can pull up something out of the blue. I'm still going to say, yeah, that's a great representation of my art. Any given day, any piece from, at least the last 4 years of what I've been doing. But that's the thing. You got to figure out how to be a perfectionist for every piece, and then everyone's going to be your best.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Ozzy. I really enjoyed talking to you today, and thank you for all that great info that you gave us. We do appreciate it.
No problem. Thank you. I appreciate you having me. Anybody that's following, make sure you guys follow Joy Daily. I appreciate you having me on. Yes. Check her out.
So, thank you. And you guys all take care. Be safe out there in these streets.
Yes.
All right. Peace.
Peace. Cool.